Thank you, Nestor. Well, Fox 35 update now. Explosive testimony from a Facebook whistleblower detailing what she says went on behind the scenes at the world's largest social media company. Former employee Frances Haugen delivered her opening remarks during a Senate Commerce hearing yesterday. She says the company knowingly hid research that negatively impacted the public as well as the safety of children.
As I believe Facebook's products harm children, stoke division, and weaken our democracy. The company's leadership knows how to make Facebook and Instagram safer, but won't make the necessary changes because they have put their astronomical profits before people.
Facebook denies the allegations. They say they continue to tackle the spread of harmful content. And joining us right now with more insight is social media expert Leslie Samuel from IamLeslieSamuel.com. Always good to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well, Amy. Great to see you as well.
So it was interesting to watch her testimony yesterday, and I'm sure you got a chance to watch her interview on 60 Minutes on Sunday as well.
Yep.
And then Facebook came out during the proceedings yesterday and said, yes, we probably do need some type of federal regulation over the internet. What are your thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. So obviously Facebook is aware of the problem, and they've actually come out multiple times with the same statement. There is some regulation needed. I tend to agree, but I tend to go in the direction of it's not just the regulation that's needed. There's responsibility on all sides of this equation. There's regulation that's needed. Facebook has a responsibility to its users. And I think, parents and society, we have a responsibility to our kids and so on. It has to be a multi-tiered approach in order for there to be any substantial progress.
Well, should Facebook, do you think, be concerned at this point about this testimony and where the tide could be turning now?
Absolutely, they should be concerned. In fact, they are concerned. Mark Zuckerberg himself had sent out a letter to his employees, and he posted it yesterday publicly on Facebook, addressing his concern. There's bipartisan support for more regulations of big tech and Facebook in this instance. So I think there are legitimate concerns that Facebook should have. They've had a lot of issues over the last few days, even with servers going down and so on. So there's a lot going on right now when it comes to Facebook. And yes, they do have reason for concern.
So, Leslie, I think one of the more disturbing things that we heard Frances Haugen say was that foreign countries, that other countries were saying that the way Facebook lays out some of the more negative content and the way that it is portrayed is actually changing the fabric of how a country is, of how people treat each other, of how the elections go. There seems to be this widespread concern that as a world society, we are changing and for the worse.
Well, there should be a widespread concern because anytime you have an algorithm that prioritizes engagement, it's going to feed you more of what you want to see. And if what you want to see is negative and hateful stuff, and that's the kind of stuff that brings clicks, and you're seeing more and more of that, that is going to have an impact on how we operate as a society. That is the reality. When you have algorithms that are kind of creating these filter bubbles, you're going to see more of, in some cases, more hateful content, more divisive content. Yes, there are pros, but there are some cons that we definitely need to be aware of and take into consideration.
Well, and it just seems like such a monumental task to then say, okay, we can't do it ourselves. We can't police ourselves. So government, can you help police us? I'm not sure. I feel like at this point it's gotten so big. The only people who could really police it are ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the responsibility comes down to the individual. It comes down to communities. It comes down, we all have a part to play in this. Unfortunately, social media and technology has moved so fast. It's moved much faster than the regulations and the rules that are in place that it's often really difficult to keep up. I don't know if you find that, but I find it's difficult to keep up. So I think it's very important for me to be proactive about how I engage with these platforms, for me to be proactive about what I do with my kids when it comes to these platforms. We can't just put all of the responsibility on Facebook, on Congress, on government. We have to take individual responsibility.
Amen to that. So many things in life. So true. Leslie Samuel, always great to talk to you, my friend. We sure love seeing you.
Great to see you as well.
Take care.